everybody. My name is Giuliani Olivo, and for my research paper, I did it on the impact media in the film industry has on Asian American women. Why I selected this topic? There are two reasons. The first one, I just wanted to learn more about the topic, especially after watching Slay the Dragon, which was assigned to us to watch during one of our past discussions. I wanted to learn more about, Asian women in film. I was interested in the topic specifically when hearing a fact from Slay the Dragon that in 1954 it was the year that interracial relationships were not allowed on screens, and only Caucasian women were able to play lead roles in films. The second is a curiosity, always wondered why Asian women were not seen as much on screen, and then why they played certain roles. I noticed that there was like a pattern of like Asian women only playing, a specific role but in different contexts, which led me, these two to wanting to like explore more and do more research on the specific topic. A little bit a brief history. Um, Asian American women in Hollywood films have been subjected to unfair stereotyping since the 20th century, and even till the present day, we kind of see them in modern films now that there is still some type of stereotyping, whether you know we want to call it as stereotyping or not. It's still this constant pattern still continues to this present day. The start of stereotyping for Asian Americans was during the following of the Chinese Exclusion Act in 1882. The act suspected Chinese immigrants for 10 years and prevented Chinese immigrants from becoming naturalized citizens of the United States. Not only did it affect, all Chinese immigrants, but it mainly affected, Asian American women because it led them to prostitution. They were seen as less valued than, the other like Chinese men, which kind of led them to, no one would hire them, no one would, what they were just seen as having no value, so which led them, they want to have a living, so led them to prostitution. And then last fact was Okinawa was one of the first films to have casted a Japanese woman as the leading lady, but a Caucasian woman played the actor. Seeing this film, I kind of gave hope to like Asian American women in the film industry that they'll be getting more leading parts, but in reality it's like, yes, we're gonna be showing your type, Asians as leading roles, but in reality we're gonna have non-Asian play that role. Some portrayal in mainstream media, there constant stereotyping. There are some, you know, there's only a few that words that people use to describe Asian American women, and in film mainly like lotus blossom, babies, prostitutes, picture brides, concubines, Chinese dolls, and dragon ladies. These are only one of the few, stereotype words that were constantly being heard and directed towards Asian women. And led, stereotypes lead to misconception and biases that shape people's attitudes and behaviors towards Asian women. Portrays Asian women as submissive or exotic, which can result in them being viewed as less assertive or competent in the professional setting. They were given roles like Dragon Lady or Lotus Blossom, which showed them as either sneaky, seductive, obedient, and submissive. And an example would be of how they were portrayed as nerds with glasses, which they made them have fake accents, or they play martial arts experts and villains. It goes back to the stereotype of like all Asians are smart. And like all Asians, they know karate, martial arts. It goes back to that stereotype, and we kind of still see them in like um, modern modern films as well. And then there was something called the military sexual complex that came about because of the presence of the US military in Asia. Aside from prostitution being a common thing for Asian women, the military sexual complex made prostitution a regular thing, adding to how much already Asian women were already over sexualized in the Western film. Lastly, the effects of stereotypes. When it comes to the stereotypes of hypersexualizing Asian women, it can lead them to be objectified and harassed. It can affect their safety and well-being. For example, being catcalled or even followed. There's some people who have a fetish where like Asian women, you know, these, you know, typically men, they can like follow these women and commit a crime just because of their fetish. The over sexualization of Asian women in the media negatively impacts their self-esteem, body image, and culture perception. It affects social interactions with the Western communities. It also contributes to the promotion of unrealistic and unattainable body standards, which can lead to image issues and lower self-esteem. They will be pressured to look a certain way and go beyond limits to achieve that goal, that body goal, which can lead them to health issues such as eating disorder. That is why plastic surgery is kind of like a big thing in Asia. A lot of these women want to like look a certain way because the media portrays them to be as something that they may not be. So they try to achieve this goal, and that's why plastic surgery is a big thing in Asia. The way Asian women are shown in film can also make them feel like they don't belong or aren't accepted in society, which is already tough for them. The media's portrays of Asian culture can also affect how they feel about themselves when they don't see enough of their culture being represented. It can make them feel disconnected and confused, adding to that challenging of fitting in. Um, so, yeah, that was all for my presentation. Thank you guys for watching.